Do you remember Nike's slogan?
Yeah, just do it.
That's right. So some people, they apply this to the marriage process. That means that they'll meet a match that is less than ideal, and for one terrible reason or another, they'll say yes. But spoiler alert, and I've been doing this for a very long time, I have never ever seen one of these just do it marriages work out. Not once.
Mm,
Let's get into it.
let's get into it.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Muslim Marriage Podcast, where we show you how to find and build a healthy marriage as a Muslim. I'm Zahra Hassan.
And I'm AJ, and we've been married for 4 years.
And let's get started.
Let's get started.
So this week's episode is entitled Terrible Reasons to Get Married. So before we get into the question, let me ask you, why did you get married?
I wanted a wife.
Okay, but for in general, that's just it?
Yeah, that's quite simple. I said, hey, I want a wife. All right, let's go find a wife. And then I found someone that's very wifely.
Okay, I appreciate that. But in general, you wanted a wife so that you could have a marriage, so that you could have a companionship?
No, it's definitely always about companionship.
A companionship.
Yeah.
Okay, so that if there was a right reason to get married, that's the right reason to get married.
Someone to grow old with.
In Shaa Allah. But until what are some, because the title of this episode is Terrible Reasons to Get Married.
Mm-hmm.
What are some terrible reasons to get married?
If you're only looking for a wife.
What is this? So that's not I don't understand.
Well, you don't want to just get married just for the sake of being married.
Yeah.
Right? That might be a good reason to start looking for a wife, but that's not a good reason to get married, right? The reason why I started looking for a wife is because I wanted a wife.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason why I married you.
Oh.
You gave me reasons that I would wanted to marry you.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's very kind. Jazaa K'Allah Khayr.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, so when you said looking for a wife, it just means your loneliness.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So to get rid of the loneliness.
Yeah.
So that depending on how you approach it, this can be a good reason or this could be a terrible reason.
Yeah.
To actually get married. Right. So I like how you differentiated between starting looking versus actually getting married.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good paradigm to keep in mind as we get into this question. So there's a long list of terrible reasons to get married, and obviously we're going to go through those later on. But one of the most common ones is going to come up in this question here, posted by a brother from the Muslim Marriage subreddit.
Yeah.
He says, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm sorry this is long, but I genuinely need honest advice from Muslims who understand marriage and family dynamics. A few months ago, I was very close to being engaged to a girl I truly believed was the love of my life. We did not meet in an un-Islamic way and did not have a relationship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just brought us into each other's path. A misunderstanding between our families ruined the engagement before it even began. It was painful for both of us, but we said if we were meant to be together, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may reunite us in the future, or maybe not if it's not written. Fast forward a few months. A distant aunt visited us. She liked my character and privately told me that she wanted me to marry her daughter. I didn't respond, and she understood I wasn't interested. Later, she spoke to my mother, and my mother spent a long time convincing me that this girl is good for me and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might be closing one door and opening another. I thought maybe this was qadr and gave it a try. So qadr means decree. So during my first conversation with the cousin, she asked about my marriage timeline. I told her 1 year because I knew I needed emotional time to fully move on, and she agreed. Soon after, I was told the marriage would happen in 3 months, not 12. I was livid, and I asked them who gave them this authority, and they said it was because Islam advises to hasten marriage. I didn't know how to respond because Islamically they weren't wrong, and I assumed maybe they were trying to protect her and keep things halal. However, things escalated without my involvement. I had an important exam and asked them to pause wedding planning. While I was focused on studying, her family booked the wedding venue, informed relatives, agreed on meher, and made additional arrangements. Nobody informed me because I was quote-unquote stressed, and they thought that they were doing me a favor. I confronted my parents and said I wanted to stop the marriage. They accused me of being under sihr or evil eye. They guilt tripped me. I stopped eating and sleeping, and they told me no normal man behaves like this. I panicked because I've never seen my parents like that. I spoke to the girl and I told her I was uncomfortable that everything was done without me. I noticed more red flags. She lacks accountability, she's emotionally unstable, financially irresponsible, and dismissive whenever I raise concerns. She says that she isn't worried and believes that everything will be fine, but I don't feel comfortable. I also told her about my previous situation and she didn't mind. But now I feel that I may have rushed something that I wasn't ready for. I feel guilty because I don't want to hurt her or shame my parents, but deep down, I feel like this marriage won't work. I feel pressured, emotionally manipulated, and trapped between guilt, religion, and family honor. Am I an evil person for wanting to break this off? Have I let her wrong? Have I let her on? Where did I go wrong? What are your thoughts?
I'm on the side of the parents 100%.
Whose parents?
The guy's parents.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a joke.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But speaking of paradigms, is that an example of a paradigm?
Well, it could be.
The one side of the family wants one thing and he wants another.
Yeah, this is a common situation in the Muslim community.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I chose this question.
Yeah. Did you know that the military recently started parachuting 10-cent coins at people?
I did not know. No.
They're trying to destabilize the economy.
How come?
Let's move on.
With a pair of dimes? I like that.
Not a pair of dimes. No, paradigms.
A pair of dimes? All right, my mistake. I mispronounced it. How would you?
No, it's not. It's not. Well, no, a paraglider, parachuter.
Yeah.
Paradigm. Yeah, they just toss them out the. We've stuck on this for too long. We gotta move on.
Let's go.
We gotta move on.
Okay. All right. How would you advise this brother?
No, he should get out.
Okay, so let's I didn't give his age because he was fairly on the younger side.
Okay, what's his age?
I'm not going to give his age because he was on the younger side. He should get out
then.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how old he is.
Yeah.
Right?
So why should he get out?
If he's old enough to get married, right? He should get out.
But why should he get out?
For multiple reasons. First and foremost, the marriage is his affair.
Okay.
Right? It's his ordeal. The first red flag is the fact that they agreed on the meher without talking to him about it.
That's true.
Like they made that decision without him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then secondly, they've told everyone that they're getting married in 3 months' time when he specifically said, I want 1 year.
Yeah.
Right? And she seems to be following through with it, going along with it.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he spoke with her and said, I want 1 year.
Yeah.
So she heard from other sources 3 months. Any respectable person would go up to the guy and say, hey, I thought you said 1 year. Did you change your mind?
Yeah.
And he would say, what? No, I didn't hear about this. Yeah, I said 1 year. What's happening? And she would be like, okay, then yeah, we're not going to get married. It's going to be 1 year. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the in that she seems to be downplaying him. And in his own words, dismissing his emotions, dismissing his feelings on the matter.
Yeah.
It is very indicative of how she would act when they're married. Bear in mind that before people are married, there is at the very least a decorum of modesty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a decorum of humble. But once people get married, that's where people are no longer modest with each other. Now they're just farting with each other left and right. You know?
Oh my God, okay.
It's that type of thing. Okay. So with regards to that, if she is disrespecting him in that manner before they get married, oh boy, it's going to get worse.
Oh, would you count it as disrespect?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think any guy would see that as disrespectful because he's telling her what he wants.
Okay.
And she's saying, yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm going to push through with this.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was important to point out because sometimes people would get stuck on the issue of the parents.
Yeah.
Right? So more important than the issue of the parents is the issue of the spouse, the potential spouse in this case.
Yeah.
And the problems with communication that he's seeing already at this level and at this stage is the primary issue why he shouldn't continue with this marriage, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
The parents, right? They're going to be pushy.
Yeah, that's what
we have a lot
do.
of parents that are naturally pushy.
That's what they do.
That's because they want to get you out of the house. You know?
Their
primary goal is to make you independent, have you self-sufficient, right?
Yeah.
Not counting Allah in the picture, of course. Allah is always the one that sustains. But with regards to the family, they want you to no longer depend on the family. The easiest way to make a man independent is to get him married, you know?
Yeah, but again, like I understand the parents are doing what they think is best for their son, even if the way that they're going about it might be undermining him, right? Undermining his wishes to some extent, which is not great. But I understand. We assume the best, especially when it comes to parents. We just assume the best. Right?
I think it was a form of gaslighting because once they announce it to the public, right? They say our son is getting married in 3 months' time.
Yeah,
we've invited everybody.
If
he then says, no, I don't want to go through with the marriage, I'm going to cancel. For them, it's going to be a shame. It's going to be to cancel.
That's a problem, yeah.
And so because of that, now they have to try everything they can to make sure that he doesn't cancel. And that includes saying, yeah, you have the evil eye. You have magic cast upon you.
So if he goes through with this marriage, why do you think he would go through it? If he says, okay, let's just do it, what do you think it would be the reason? What is the terrible reason in this case?
It would be societal pressure.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The reason why he would say yes would be due to parental pressure, right? And the reason why he shouldn't say yes is always the same reason in every case. The reason why you shouldn't say yes is the mismatch with the spouse. The fact that he would be settling for a spouse that would not be a good compatible match with him.
I don't necessarily think it's parental pressure because children of this day and age, they do handle parental pressure, right? Which, astaghfirullah, should not be the case. But children of this day and age, they're comfortable saying no to their parents.
Then they're better than me.
But it's society. I think he has an issue with societal pressure.
I think that's a big generalization, my dear, right? So the relationship of each individual with their parents is going to be unique. There might be some patterns overall, but I think that's going to be unique to their specific situation. Now, I didn't mention it here, but he did outline that there is a context here where there is some difficulty between him and his parents, right? So that history and that emotional trauma already exists. So there's a context here. So he's having difficulty saying no to his parent. I think the issue here is saying no to his parents more than everything and more than anything else, right? He explains here, he said, I feel guilty because I don't want to hurt her or shame my parents.
Okay, yeah, I guess I see it that way.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go ahead.
But
don't let it get to your head.
No, it's too late. I'm already there. But so this is the terrible reason that I wanted to talk about. In this case here is because it is one of the most common ones, and you'll see that there is an interplay here. It's hard to separate these two, right? So there is the issue of pressure from the parents and pressure from society. That the parents will usually use the pressure from society as a reason why don't embarrass us, don't dishonor us. I need you to say yes to this marriage, right? So you can see that both are interplaying here together.
Don't be suspicious. Yeah. Don't be suspicious.
But for the brother, if he were to go through with this marriage, and this question came up quite some time ago, I hope he didn't go through with it. And if he did, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him barakah and whatever is the outcome. But similar situations like this, like spoiler alert, what usually ends up happening is that Once you're married to an individual, in most households, and I would assume that's the case for this household, but in most households, all the family members leave. All of that pressure from society goes away. They're not really going to be a part of your life. It is now just you and this individual who are left in the house to try to navigate marriage. And if this individual, you already knew there was an issue with communication, that's not going to be solved because we signed papers, right?
Yeah.
So that's how that's going to go. Let's talk about some other terrible reasons to get married that are pretty common that I've seen over the years. Some of them have happened in my case. The wanting to leave your family's home. Right? So this is very common, especially amongst women. For whatever reason, sometimes young women, they'll be living in a household where there's abuse, right? Emotional abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse, some level of abuse. And one of the ways that they can leave the home culturally is through marriage.
Yeah.
So then, unfortunately, what's going to end up happening is that because you have this extra motivation, extra push to say yes to somebody, it'll put you in a position of being more vulnerable to saying yes to the wrong somebody. And that's actually usually what happens. Usually that's what happens. Because people who are healthy, like if you come across a healthy gentleman who's looking to build a happy, healthy marriage, and he notices, and you know, he comes across your inbox and you start a talking stage, and he notices that there is a vulnerability there, that this person is really rushing to get married, or there might be some emotional trauma there that's showing up in one way or another. That healthy individual is going to be pushed away, primarily because they don't want to take advantage of somebody who is vulnerable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever come across somebody during the talking stage where you're like, this person is super vulnerable right now?
Miskeen?
Yeah, and if I say yes, if I tell her jump, she'll say how high. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever come across that prototype of person?
I feel like if I had, it would have been just like one person.
Okay, let's say when you did, how would you go forward with that situation?
No, I don't think I would, because like once they become emboldened, I don't know what their true personality is like.
Yeah. Emboldened by happiness and health?
No, just emboldened by no longer being inside the house that's hurting her.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right?
I mean, that's one way to think about it, right?
Yeah.
But usually before, when I was coaching men particularly, and we would have group coaching sessions.
Yeah.
And this topic would come up. And many of them answered the way that I thought that they would, where they would say, it's just really uncomfortable taking advantage of somebody who is super vulnerable. And I can understand that.
Yeah.
In the talking stage, if I had come across, and I did come across people who, for one reason or another, seemed super vulnerable. Like, I could see that I had an edge over them. Like, that there was a power dynamic that I just that wasn't even, right? That wasn't equal.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel responsible for accidentally taking advantage of somebody, right? Therefore, when you are in that vulnerable state, what's going to happen is that being in that vulnerable state tends to push away people who are healthy, right? And really draw towards you people who are really not. Yeah. And they will offer you the world. The people who are manipulators or unsafe will offer you the world. Go ahead.
I think that I don't think it's a good idea to ignore someone just because you think that they could be vulnerable, right? Mm-hmm. I think the reason that I gave is a stronger reason than not wanting to potentially take advantage of someone that's vulnerable. Because in your position, you might be delicate enough to not take advantage of that person. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You might be healthy enough to not take advantage of that person. But I think the opposite, right? If all the healthy people marry all the healthy people, then that leaves the unhealthy people to marry unhealthy people.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a sad world to live in.
So guess what the alternative is?
I think it needs to be healthy and unhealthy mixed.
I think that the alternative is don't look for a partner when you are in that, we'll call it, unhealthy phase of your life, right?
Yeah, but like in her case, she's doing it for her own good, right? She's doing it to get out of an abusive household.
There are other ways to get out of that household. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? If the way that I have very, very, very rarely seen it work, where somebody has a family of origin, where there is a level of abuse.
Yeah.
And they go directly from that abusive family of origin quickly. They'll beat someone quickly and marry them quickly, and that works out.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see that happen.
It is difficult, yeah, because like if you need something from someone, you're going to appease to them.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it'll put you in a sort of mindset that you are somehow indebted and to this person for saving you, and it just
that's an easy solution.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
You just grab them firmly and shake them a bit, and you say, "You owe me no debt."
All right.
Problem solved. They're now healed.
No, you have more problems than before.
Oh, do I? All of a sudden?
Yeah. What was that meme that said? And then, why are the cops outside? What is it?
Get in the house?
Get in the house. Yeah, that's when you play that, right? No, in my opinion, right? It's not even just a matter of being worried about taking advantage of somebody inadvertently. That we'll call them healthy people tend to stay away from people who are vulnerable. Let me give you this analogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have a business and we work very hard and this business becomes very successful. And you're now at a position where you're looking to take on a partner. Not an employee, a partner.
Yeah.
And you start to interview a whole bunch of people. Now you're going to see that some of them are who you come across are super vulnerable.
Yeah.
Vulnerable, and that makes it so that they're in a position that they're literally going to just say yes to whatever it is that you say and do. Would you choose an individual like that as a partner?
A person that says yes for anything I would say and do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as a partner?
When someone, like, not just the fact that they're just saying yes, but that their overall situation makes them super vulnerable. Let's say, like, they're at this exact moment, they are...
No, I absolutely would, yeah. Like, because if I get a partner that's super vulnerable and would say everything yes, yes, yes to what I would ask, and they're inputting 50-50 or whatever it is, whatever investment that they put in.
They have no investment to put in.
I'd still be the major shareholder then, right?
Yeah.
The business would still be mine.
Yeah.
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 I would no longer need to vote.
So that's an employee.
Get any. Well, you said at present I have a business.
I understand, but this is what you're looking for as a partner to you, because you already have so many employees.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but like when I think of a business partner, I'm thinking of like a shareholder, someone who puts in money, and then now you guys have a board where you vote on decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, in my situation, if I was in that situation, I would want someone that just agrees to everything I want to do. Right. But if I were to equate this to a marriage, like a marriage, then no, I would want someone healthy.
Okay, even in the business world,
right?
I disagree. I would want somebody who is at least the same level of strength and confidence that I'm at, and who is able to bring to the table their own opinions and their own wisdom. Yeah. Because the goal is not for me to win. The goal is for the business to grow, and it's not going to grow if you hire on yes men or people who are in a vulnerable state or in a state in which professionally speaking, they're not at the equal ability as you. Yeah. Then that's going to put your business in a place where it's not going to grow. It's just going to put you in a place that you might get what you want. It's different.
The partners are not advisors. right?
I think you're taking the analogy a little bit too far.
I'm taking it very literally, yeah.
Yeah, please.
So partners are not advisors. They're just cash cows.
Yeah, okay. No, they're not.
You hire an actual advisor who's actually smart.
Yeah.
But you find people that are dumb to give you money.
Okay, so I'm not taking on a partner just for money. Let's say we have money.
You're trying to get married to your partner. I understand.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying even in the context of business, right? So let's say
I'll stop being obtuse.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So when you grow
I'm
a
just
business,
trying to mess with you.
When you grow a business to a to a certain level and it plateaus.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Because you don't have
insight.
Exactly. You need insight, you need experience, you need somebody who's bringing in capital, you need somebody who's in a position who knows things and is at a position of strength, either equal to you or greater than you, right? To be able to take this business and move it forward.
Yeah.
If similarly, what you're trying to build in a marriage is even more fragile than that and requires that you choose your partner even more carefully than you would in a business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Therefore, people generally, what I have found is that people, and you, like, the listener can think for themselves, right? You want that people who are looking genuinely for a partner in order to build a successful marriage in 2025, given all of the challenges that exist in 2025 that did not exist before, you need somebody. They're going to opt for people who are at an equal level of strength, if not greater.
Yeah.
Right. Therefore, when you are in the marriage market and you are coming from a place of vulnerability, you'll be more likely to push away the healthy people and be more likely to draw towards you, running at a speed running. The people who are more likely manipulators, right? So that's the first terrible reason. We're still on the first terrible reason. Now, the reason why we took so much time with that one is because, again, this is probably one of the most common one that I've seen for young women.
Yeah.
Is the desire to leave an abusive household, so on some degree abusive household. They end up choosing a partner based only on that desire rather than evaluating the partner accurately, right? Second reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry for taking up so much time.
No, you're good.
No, I really hammered that joke way too far.
I think honestly it was able to illuminate on a much deeper level than intended, but it was able to illuminate the point that we were trying to say.
Yes.
All right. So the second one. That the second terrible reason to want to get married to somebody is that there is some sort of tangible gain to be had, right?
Money.
So money is a common one. Another one is visa, right? Visas,
green
right?
Cards?
Yeah, green card. Like
I guess it's just called visa. No, it's a green card, right?
It could be a green citizenship. Citizenship is probably a better word.
Is it called marrying someone for a green card?
That's in the U.S. is where they have green cards, right? Yeah. In Canada, they have permanent residency card, and from country to country, the citizenship or the status, will have a different name, right? But it's just some sort of citizen status.
Yeah.
Common scenarios that I've seen is sometimes people will be in medical school, they will be in law school, dental school, and they would want to continue their studies in a different country.
Yeah.
And to help speed up the process, you find somebody who already lives there, right? So that's one scenario that I've seen happen. And there are so many different scenarios that have happened. Now, I'm not saying that these marriages don't work out. But it's very important to remember that whenever you have an additional factor pushing you to get married, right? It makes it once again so that the choice of the partner that you're choosing is less than ideal.
Yeah.
Right? That increases those odds. And that's why this is a second reason, a terrible reason to get married.
It's
for
like
tangible gain.
Mismatched puzzle pieces. Sure, they might fit on one tangent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you try to force it through.
Yeah, exactly. So money is a common one. Citizenship status is a common one. Status by itself is another one, right? So like status in society.
Yeah.
That especially for the people who can think of people as high value or low value. They might marry somebody who's higher value to gain connections, networking,
Like
increase
if you try to marry the head of treasury.
Yeah, or
for example.
family status, just status overall is another reason why I've seen people get married. Something that's a tangible gain. Don't do it. Number 3, another one that is people don't think about, but it is another terrible reason to get married, is they're afraid that they won't meet anyone else. Right? So they're out there, they're talking to people, they come across a person, they see the red flags, they find ways to excuse them, and they know that this situation is less than ideal, but they're really worried, what if I don't find anyone else? What if I don't find anyone else is not a good enough reason to say yes to the person in front of you? Yeah. There's always someone else.
There's always fish in the sea.
Yeah. Like there's this comes from the scarcity mindset that I'm sure the listeners are familiar with, but it's an idea that the resource, that there's some sort of limitation to the resources, when that's not the case. The case. Most likely, regardless of where you are in this world, that there are Muslims around you.
Probably like 500 million worldwide.
Probably. Are you saying that are marriageable age?
Yeah, I did the calculations already.
Okay, it's done.
Yeah, we think there's like maybe 2.5 billion. Split that in half, and then split that in half again.
Okay, all right, that's a decent calculation. So regardless of where you are in the world, there's probably Muslims around you, and there are dating apps that are global, so that even if you don't find any locally, there really aren't any locally, because I always discourage long distance. You can always find somebody long distance and
there's always
evaluate
someone
them
locally.
Exactly, but there are always people, right?
Yeah.
So once you accept the reality that there are always people, then which is what's real, then hopefully it'll help you to start to see clearer the person in front of you.
Yeah.
Because again, that's not a good enough reason to say yes to the person in front of you.
And if you can't see clearly the person in front of you, look around. Yeah, look at life.
Yeah. Every single time that I would have a client come to me and I can see that this is part of the mindset, a big part of what we do during our time together is to help her address the scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Where I would challenge her by literally going through her locale, coming up with the statistics and explaining there are so many, until we have actual hard numbers. This is how many people are in your area, right? And this is how many of them that are marriageable age and looking for, most likely going to be looking for you specifically.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a woman.
Yeah. And eventually you'll get the final number is about 4 or 5 men that are ready to marry you.
Yeah, in your area.
And that's enough.
SubhanAllah, before I met you,
feasibly only choose one.
Like, it took a long time for me to address this issue within myself, because the mistake that I was doing is that I kept saying yes to people who are very long distance.
Yeah.
And having such a hard time vetting them, and alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protecting me from all of those situations, because I kept having it in my mind that there's so few men that most likely odds are if there is a right one, it will be far away, and so I'm just gonna have to accept what's there. The moment that I really worked to step away from that, alhamdulillah, I met you, and guess where you were?
I showed up suddenly.
But guess where you were?
Yeah, like maybe 5 blocks away.
I could see your house from my house. I remember a day where we all took a walk, right? And where you took us to a park near your house.
Yeah.
And we sat down on the bench, and I could see my building from this park that was right beside your house.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, the people who I would talk to who were just literally in every corner of the globe, and you were right here in this building that I could see from my house.
The whole time. Yeah. Just so outside your window too.
Yeah. And that's reality. That's closer to reality, right? So addressing that scarcity mindset is vital and important in order to try to avoid this terrible reason to get married.
There was a period of time, about 6 months, in which I was on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But that was before we met.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was in
Ironically,
Somalia.
you know what? I was actually in Egypt when you were in Somalia.
That is ironic.
That was very
Yeah, you're
interesting.
close.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah,
SubhanAllah.
interesting.
Okay. Another terrible. So these last two are the ones that were from this question. That again that are related. The first is that you're afraid to say no to your parents. That's a terrible reason to get married, whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
But even more so if you're a man, simply because there are less constraints on you.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you're a young woman, your marriage is not valid unless you give your consent. Right.
Yeah.
So it's okay for you to say no to your parents if you don't want to get married to an individual. There is
and
nothing,
a good parent will not push back on that.
Yeah, there is nothing in our religion that says that a forced marriage is okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing in our religion. So saying no to your parents, being too afraid to say no to your parents is a terrible reason to get married.
Yeah.
Right? So if you really don't think that this person in front of you that they're presenting to you is someone who is right for you, find help, right? Find people who are in your community that your parents respect. Parents have a hard time respecting their children, no matter their children's status, because they just see them as their babies. So you need to go and find people that they respect, whether those are aunts, those are uncles, imams, teachers, just literally anyone, any other, an adultier adult, right? An adultier adult than you that they would take seriously, because it's not a part of our religion.
Yeah.
And those again tend to lead to heartbreaking situations. And again, the final one, which is related to that, but it's different, is being too afraid to break off an engagement. Because, and I've seen this happen before, that even if the parents are somewhat supportive, the individual is worried about what society is going to say after, we've been engaged for 6 months, the wedding venue is planned, there's a date set, we've spent money, other people have spent money. Literally, it could be the day of, right? In the day of the engagement, and there's just so much pressure to go through with it. That pressure is not a good enough reason to go through with it. If you're saying yes to somebody, if you are getting married to somebody, the only reason you should get married to them is because you think that they are a good match for you and that they have the ability to help you build a happy, healthy marriage. Any other reason is not a good enough reason.
Absolutely.
So, money can be replaced, right? Whatever embarrassment happens, you'll get past that. Whatever reputational hit that you take, because all of our cultures are weird.
Yeah.
Backbiting is real in our cultures. It's fine. People eventually get past it. They'll find it's a short news cycle these days, right?
Yeah.
They'll get past it. The money will be replaced. All of these things will be replaced.
Yeah.
But do not marry somebody unless you believe that this person is a good match. If you see red flags, if you see hints that this person might lead to not just an unhappy marriage, but an abusive marriage, don't do it. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you spent $1 million on the wedding, your sanity is more expensive. Your children's future is more expensive. Right, so don't do it.
Yeah. And also, when it comes to backbiting, would you be offended if a zombie was gossiping about you?
No.
Exactly.
SubhanAllah. All right, that's a wild thing to call our aunts and uncles, but yeah, I get you. The zombies.
Yeah.
The aunties and the uncles, yeah. That's one way to think about it.
If you backbite, you're eating someone's flesh.
Oh, this is true.
And that's what a zombie does.
SubhanAllah, that is very effective.
Yeah.
Very effective and terrifying, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hopefully all of that was clear, right? So, but the most important thing of everything that we've said is that the only reason to get married to a person is because you think that they have the ability to be able to build a happy, healthy marriage with you. And all other reasons are terrible reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So In Shaa Allah, that was clear. And hopefully if we were able to answer the brother's question. Is there anything that we're missing?
Clock it.
Okay, does that mean no in today's lingo?
I think clock it means that you spot on or something like that.
I said it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's spot on.
Okay, all right. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will clock it.
We will clock it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just killed the phrase.
If it reaches me, it's that phrase is no longer alive.
When the older adults start saying the phrase, that's when the phrase officially
Are we
dies.
the older adults? Is that us?
We
Alhamdulillah.
are the older adults.
You know what? Alhamdulillah. It's better than the alternative.
We're no longer with the hip and happening.
I don't think I ever was hip or happening.
6, 7.
Okay. All right, so hopefully we've answered the brother's question, inshallah. If you have made it this far in the podcast, we genuinely appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us. We know that how precious your time is these days. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. It would really make all the difference to us. If you are a young lady, particularly, and you are out there trying to find a spouse, and you're wondering, how do I assess compatibility to see whether or not this person is right for me? Feel free to download your free copy of my compatibility guide. The link will be in the description below. And finally, if you would like guidance on how to use the dating app safely and successfully, sign up for my live webinar entitled Dating App Strategies That Actually Work. That happens once a month. And this month will be happening this Saturday on November 29th. The link for that is in the description below. That should be everything. So, Jazaa K'Allah Khayr. Have a wonderful week, and Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.